Hi, and welcome to this vocabulary lesson because we are going to look at synonyms, collocations in context, and words that belong in the word family. I hope you'll stick around with me every single day, learn these 3,000 words with me. Specifically. Now, if you are a Spanish or even a Portuguese speaker, make sure that when you pronounce this is going to be really hard for you. Don't put an "e" on the front, specifically. I know that in those languages, if you have an S and a P next to each other, you always want to, your mouth wants to put an "e" sound on the front. Don't do it. Specifically. Specifically means this one, not the other ones. Some synonyms for specifically are especially, particularly, especially, particularly, specially, notably. This one, not the other ones. I'm specifically talking about the word specifically. We use specifically to identify an exact item from a larger group. I'm interested in European history, specifically the history of the Roman Empire. Okay, so the larger group is European history, and the specific thing that I'm interested in is the Roman Empire. It narrows a broad topic. We would say specifically about, specifically focused on, specifically related to. Specifically means I've got this broader area, but I'm focusing on this one. We use it to emphasize deliberate design or purpose. For example, this software was developed specifically for small business owners. It means it's intentionally created, specifically designed for, specifically developed for, specifically intended for, specifically created for. This is a collocation that means it's intentional for something, for someone. It's to request exact information. What specifically caused the project to fail? This means I want precise details. I don't want general explanations. Specifically what? Specifically why? Specifically how? Or specifically which? What is the one thing that made this fail? We use it to refer to a particular case among many. Several factors affected sales, specifically the increase in shipping costs. So there were a lot of things that happened, but this one is the one we really want to look at. We'd say specifically including, specifically concerning, specifically referring to, specifically in the case of. We use those collocations. If I say specifically concerning ... then I am zeroing in on the one thing that is the most important thing. We use specifically to single out a person or thing. For example, the criticism wasn't directed at the team generally, but specifically at the manager. Okay, so if you don't know what the word specifically means, but you know the word generally, you can figure out what specifically means by the context, because we have a but here. The but means that this part of the sentence is going to be different from this part of the sentence. It's going to be the opposite. So it's not directed here, it's directed here. So generally would be an opposite for specifically. Some collocations would be directed specifically at, and we can take specifically out and say directed at, specifically toward, specifically against, specifically targeting. We specifically target a particular group of people maybe, or a person if we really don't like them. We would use specifically with a noun phrase. For example, specifically, the marketing department needs improvement. Maybe we all need improvement, but the marketing department really needs improvement. Specifically for. This course is specifically for beginners. So this is intended for this group. Specifically designed for. Again, this is intended. We've got specifically for. The chair is specifically designed for people with back pain. More specifically, we use more specifically to narrow it even further. The company operates in Asia, more specifically in Japan and South Korea. Okay? More specifically, where it was specific, now we're making it even more specific. Specifically speaking. Specifically speaking is a way that we might introduce a sentence to say we're zeroing in. We're making it point to the one. Specifically speaking, the policy applies only to full-time employees. We might say this phrase, specifically speaking, we might say it if we want to be very particular and highlight something. So what is the difference between specifically and especially? Specifically is exactly, it's precise, it's in particular. I asked specifically for a window seat. This is an exact request. Especially means more than others. It can also mean particularly. I enjoy desserts, especially cheesecake. This is a preference, and it's not necessarily, it also zeroes in, but it allows for others. Specifically does not allow for others. The machine was built specifically for this task. It's intended for this. The machine is useful for many tasks, especially this one. Especially opens it up and includes. The first emphasizes purpose and precision. The second emphasizes degree or preference. It opens it up. The opposite of specifically would be generally. The noun is specifics. Specifics. And we shorten that to specs. Specifics mean the details. What are the specs of this? What are the specs of this operation or this device? That's what are the specifics. The verb is specify. To specify something means to talk about the details. What are you exactly talking about? The adjective is specific and the adverb is specifically. Specifically. I really hope that you enjoyed this word. Research shows that if you know 3,000 words, then you can pretty much say anything you need to say. I hope I'll see you tomorrow, and please like and subscribe.